What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas. So The Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favorite films of all time. It's one of the films that I literally know the entire script to. And of course, we all know films that we know quotable lines to. We know the films really well. But this is a film that I know every single line of the entire film to. As I watch it every single time, I literally want to just kind of say every line as the film goes. And yeah, it's just a film that I never get tired of. A film that's been there since I was a kid. I have always thoroughly enjoyed and loved this film. And last night, thanks to my mom, I got the opportunity to go see The Nightmare Before Christmas live in concert. And going into it, I thought that this was just going to be a live orchestrated event that was just going to play the score of the film. You know, you have an orchestra on stage and we're going to probably show some clips from the film. But to my surprise, it was actually the entirety of the movie that played, and you had the orchestra that played the entire score to the entire film as the movie went on, which was just super awesome to hear and see, and just to be able to hear the music in such an intricate way and just being able to hear it live as the movie went on was something that was really cool. And I was already going to do this review this month for October, Halloween, but after seeing the event last night, I had to speed up the process and do this right now. Yeah, this is easily one of my favorite films of all time. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, directed by Henry Selick. Yes, not directed by Tim Burton. It is actually based on a short story that Tim Burton wrote for Disney, and they ended up adapting it to a film, and Henry Selick is the one that actually directed it, with the music and the score being done by Elfman. Some of my favorite music that's ever been put to a musical ever in my entire life, and to be able to watch this movie each and every time and always be in love with it, get chills from it, and just have a great time from it, I think it just speaks to the strength of this film. There's just so much that goes into the craft of this film, and this is one of those films that really got me into the love of film. Being able to watch the behind the scenes, I've watched hours and hours and hours of behind the scenes footage on how they created this film, just the little things, just how they changed the faces, the stop motion animation. Claymation and stop motion animation has always been some of my favorite animation of all time, and Nightmare Before Christmas is easily the one that started that love and that passion for that kind of animation for me. So being able to go back and watch this movie, and I'm always blown away that it holds up. I think it's a film that will continually hold up, from the music, the voice acting, the animation, everything about it is just so well done, and it's a movie that I really never get tired of. Now, I also want to address the obvious discussion that always happens around this film and when you should watch it. Is it a Halloween film or is it a Christmas film? For me, I think that it is both. I think that it plays very well on both sides. You can play it in Halloween time, you can play it in Christmas time, and I think it works in both ways. However, I do think personally it's more of a Halloween film, and I know that Henry Selick, the director, has come out and said that he thinks it's more of a Halloween film. And the reason I think that is because majority of the story takes place in Halloween Town, and then you have the characters of Halloween Town as the main characters, and it spends most time there. So I always found it to be more of a Halloween movie than a Christmas movie, but I think it plays well on both sides. I don't think it's a competition, and I think if you're watching this movie as it is, you're already winning. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So if you've never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas, I highly recommend it. I think it's a movie that definitely a lot of people that have not seen it these days maybe think, oh, it's just something that I haven't seen at this point. I kind of just brushed it off. When I talk to certain people who haven't seen it, which, you know, I could say is probably not the majority of people these days, but when I do talk to people who have not seen it, they thought, oh, it looks a little silly, it looks like something that's not up my alley. But I really do believe that if you sit down and watch it, it's a film that you'll have a really great time with. There's so much heart, charm, and love put into this film. You can feel it with every single music note, you can feel it with every single vocal performance, you can feel it with every single stop motion moment. And that's something I really just love about this film, is that on an artistic level, it's so well put together, and I just have so much fun watching this film and watching it for the artistry that is put into this film. And the basic premise, for those of you who have no idea, is that you have Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King, who essentially is the biggest face of Halloween Town, who stumbles across a bunch of trees that all have different doors that are shaped like different holidays. And when he goes into Christmas Town, he falls in love with Christmas and just everything that goes along with it. He loves how beautiful and jolly and exciting it is. He's gotten a little bit tired of Halloween, and he wants to take over Christmas this year and do Christmas instead of Halloween. And as I'm sure you can imagine, with Halloween characters trying to put their own spin on Christmas, it doesn't go so well, but it's such a great film. I would say that my only negatives is maybe there's a couple things when you go back and watch it that could have been fleshed out a little bit more, some character relationships. However, I think what they do a great job of is setting up a universe that you feel like, okay, these characters all know each other, they've all been in this world together, they do this every year, so those relationships are already kind of established. You know, the film does its job to kind of get you to where they need to be in the film, but I guess you could say that for the film there are a couple relationships or little moments that are rushed, but for the most part, it's so well done. This is a damn near perfect film for me. And when it comes to the animation, the voice work, the music, the songs themselves, everything's just so catchy, so memorable. It is such a great film. So The Nightmare Before Christmas, guys, I highly recommend it. Go check this film out as soon as you can if you have not seen it. And for all of you who have seen this movie, I have 3 questions for you down in the comments below. The first question is, who is your favorite character from The Nightmare Before Christmas? What is your favorite song from The Nightmare Before Christmas? And hypothetically, if you could ever get a sequel to this film and you could see Jack Skellington and the gang of Halloween Town try to take over another holiday, What holiday would you like to see them take over? I really don't want a sequel, but I'm just curious what you guys will say. So leave those comments down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching as usual. I do really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. It helps the channel out. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already done so. I would really appreciate it, and just have you guys join me along for the rest of the ride of all the reviews I'll be doing on this channel. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.